and let us all do we can to build a better future.
You ready for a revolution? You ready for a revolution? The people of France are taking on Blackrock. I know, this is incredible. So first and foremost, before we get started, let's talk about who and what Blackrock is, because I think we need to understand what they're all about. So first, you need to get angry, and then I'm going to put a smile on your face. So here you go. Let's find out about Blackrock.
The smaller institutional investors are owned by larger investors, who in turn belong to even larger investors. The visible top of this pyramid consists of only two companies, and we have seen their names many times by now. They are Vanguard and Blackrock. The power of these two companies is something we can barely imagine. Not only are they the largest institutional investors of every major company on Earth, they also own the other institutional investors of those companies, giving them a complete monopoly. According to a report by Bloomberg, one of the most respected institutions in the world in the field of financial data and analytics, experts expect that by 2028, both companies will collectively manage about $20 trillion in investments, and in the process will own almost everything on Earth.
Isn't that interesting? Blackrock and Vanguard. No, not the Vanguard, the YouTube channel. But Blackrock and the Vanguard. Two entities. Who would think? With the millions of years of human evolution, the 10 to 12,000 years of civilization, I could be wrong on that, please correct me. But think about it. All that time, all that struggle. Now everything on this planet is going to be owned by Blackrock and Vanguard. 20 trillion. Let me just tell you something, folks, before we play the rest of the video. All things have a beginning, and they do have an end. There's going to be a big old collapse, and these powerful titans that sit upon their little fragile thrones, nothing lasts forever. Anything can fall. I think it's long overdue that there is a true reset, not a great reset where the establishment controls the people, but where the people take back what is rightfully yours. That's right. I don't care whether you're in Mexico, Australia, Canada, and United States, anywhere part of the world right now. I don't care where you're living at right now. Know this. You are entitled to peace and security. You're entitled to your individual freedom, and you are entitled to be left alone, to be respected. And what's happening to all of us right now is barbaric and inhumane. What we're witnessing in France is only the beginning, to which I have to say, my fellow Americans, you do realize we're getting screwed over too. I mean, I remember when I was a young kid, and I used to see all this imagery and videos and documents and paperwork saying how big, bad, and tough we are. But as time progressed, I've seen Americans lose their homes, small businesses being shut down, our communities getting polluted, our politicians stealing from us and abusing us. I mean, if we're as tough as we like to say we are, I haven't seen it because we're really good at taking a beating.
The same Bloomberg called BlackRock the fourth arm of government, because it is the only non-government entity that has a close relationship with the federal banks, also called the central banks. BlackRock not only lends money to the federal banks, but is also their principal advisor and the developer of the computer system that the federal banks use. Dozens of BlackRock employees had senior positions in the White House during the Bush and the Obama administrations.
Well, look at that, vote blue no matter who, and diehard Republican red voters. Huh. Well, wait a minute. Hold on. To all these diehard Republican voters or diehard Democratic voters that are critical of hard lens media or say, oh, we're mean to their favorite politician. Huh. Gee. It looks like BlackRock is in both the Bush and Obama administration, just like how banks and Wall Street executives and other private entities are inside the other presidential administrations, like Trump and Biden. It's almost as if everything that I've been saying about the two-party system being owned by the top 1% is not only factually correct, but is hanging in front of you like a rotten corpse. Diehard Democratic voters, diehard Republican voters, I do wish for the day for you to wake up one day to where you're no longer hypnotized in voting for a system that constantly abuses you. Take off those sunglasses and show us your shiner. Be brave. Now, look, I understand that we do have some Democratic voters and Republican voters in our audience that are very well aware of the system and how corrupt it is. And I understand that in some states it's very draconian, in which you cannot vote third party or independent. Now is the initiative. Now is your chance. Just don't listen to anybody on a YouTube channel, but now is your time to step up and actually start demanding for another choice, for citizen ballot initiatives, to start doing more. This is your chance, your time to shine. Look at that. Blackrock in both the Obama and Bush Jr. administration. George Carlin was right. The man's not only spinning in his grave, he's doing a whole Boston tap dance in his grave. I don't know why I said that, but hey, no, wait, better yet, he's got a whole New York Broadway show happening in his grave, because God damn it, he was right. He was ahead of his time. It's one big club, and you ain't in it.
And currently under Joe Biden. BlackRock CEO Larry Fink is a welcome guest with many heads of state and politicians, and understandably so. He's the face of the company.
Hey, that was Macron, and right, hey, it's everybody's favorite Canadian Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau.
That pulls the strings. Yet Larry Fink does not pull the strings himself. In fact, BlackRock itself is owned by shareholders. And if we look at who those shareholders are, we come to a strange conclusion. We see that BlackRock's largest shareholder is Vanguard. And this is where it gets dark. Vanguard itself has a unique structure that makes it impossible to see who its shareholders or clients are. The elite who own Vanguard don't want anyone to know that they are the owners of the most powerful company on earth.
Yep. So there you go, folks. It's one big club, and you ain't in it. So it's that, I have to say to my fellow Americans, the people of France decided to say, hey, they're not screwing around no more. Shout out to Nico House. He managed to capture this little gem. BlackRock attempts a corporate takeover of France. The people burn down their office. Look at us go. Gosh darn it. It's actual revolution time. What the hell? Encore. One more time. God damn it, that is such a catchy tune. That is so wonderful. That is on point. But here, a couple more footage. Again, showing how it's done. What will it take for people to get involved in the game? So let's talk about this. There's an article from Reuters. I know, not a fan of them either, but here we go. Let's talk about it. So, as it stands, pension reform protesters briefly invade Paris Blackrock building. Okay, and as the earlier video showed, Blackrock has a lot of power, a lot of influence, and the people, especially here in France, in France, are upset. So, dozens of trade unionists rallying against French President Emmanuel Macron, who survived 2 votes of no confidence. Pension overhaul briefly invaded the central Paris building in which the U.S.-based investment firm BlackRock has an office, chanting slogans and setting off firecrackers. The union action in the historical Centurial building near Paris. Oh, it's historical. Grand Boulevards, our area, targeted BlackRock because of its private pension fund activity, protester Francois told Reuters. The government wants to throw away pensions. It wants to force people to fund their own retirement with private pension funds. But what we know is that only the rich will be able to benefit from such a setup. So here's the thing. Because CNN, I played some clips of this, I think a week ago, where CNN and MSNBC were talking down to the American people by saying a lot of Americans don't understand what's going on here. No. We do. But I especially on the off chance we have any viewing audience members in France, shout out to our Hard Lens Media audience in France. Listen, people of France, do not give up your social benefits, okay? We don't have them here in America. If your politicians are as neoliberal as ours, chances are they're waiting for the opportunity to give you the same system we have here. Now, here's the nightmare situation here in America, people of France. I know, an American's talking to you. And yes, I'm going to tell you what to do, but gosh darn it, this is the best advice you're ever going to get. Now, here's the thing. In America, our health insurance, our health care, is tied to our jobs. When an American loses their job or they're laid off or the company just goes belly up, bye-bye health care. Now, you guys have a better healthcare system than we do. Hell, we have a thing called medical bankruptcy. People of France, I know you're saying, parlez-vous français? I said that terribly, but what is medical bankruptcy? Why, it's a special thing here only us Americans have. It's the leading cause of homelessness. You got Americans with $100K to $200K in medical debt. Hell, it goes up higher. There is no ceiling. We have no social benefits. We have no social safety net here in America. Richest country in the world, very true. But its people are struggling day in, day out. So people of France, just know this. If your politicians are given the same opportunity, they will take away everything that you guys have. Trust me on it. It's an American guarantee. If your politicians are as corrupt as ours, they'll do it to you. So don't you stop. Don't you back down, because they'll take it away. Do you want what we have? No, you don't. Continuing on. The action came on an 11th day of nationwide union-organized strikes and demonstrations against the government plan to increase the retirement age by 2 years to 64. Trust me, they'll raise that. People of France, if your politicians want to raise that retirement age even higher, they're going to do it to us here in America. Don't you stop. Don't you stop what you're doing. BlackRock did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Thomson Reuters has an office in the same building. Oh, Reuters, you got an office in the building too. Unlike many other European countries in which pensions are at least partially financed by private pension funds, France has a system whereby the contributions of those who are currently working directly fund the pensions of those now in retirement. The government says change is needed to keep the pension system in the black. Chances are your politicians are doing some shady stuff, people of France. They are. It's not up to speculation. If they're a politician, they're a scumbag. Okay, so there you go. Loudly singing the French anti-pension reform protester favorite slogan, "We are here." The demonstrators left the building about half an hour, leaving its large atrium filled with smoke and from the firecrackers. So there you go. Great for the people of France. But also, hey, thought I'd just add this in here too, because This is kind of a little bit funny. People of France, loving what you're doing. You're bringing on that cowbell. Protesters set Macron's favorite Paris restaurant on fire. Now, you didn't have to set it on fire. Maybe you could have protested it, but whatever. Okay. Well, it looks like Macron doesn't have his favorite restaurant to go to. So demonstrators protesting against Emmanuel Macron's pension reform have set fire to the French president's favorite Paris restaurant. I'm gonna butcher it. So someone from France, tell me how to say it properly. La Rotonde. La Rotonde. La Rotonde. Some 300 rioters clashed with police outside the posh eatery on the iconic boulevard. I'm going to mess that up, but it's in Paris on Thursday. Local media reported, citing authorities. Stones, bottles, and flares were tossed at the security forces, eventually leading to the branded red awnings of the front of La Rotonde catching fire. Firefighters who were swift to arrive on the scene did not allow the flames to spread further and extinguish the blaze, according to the media. Macron chose La Rotonde to celebrate his victory in the presidential election in 2017. He has also visited the expensive restaurant on many other occasions, occasionally dining there with foreign leaders. The French president previously told reporters that he developed a fondness for the place during his student years. Oh, look at that. Dude with the pitcher of water. That ain't gonna do nothing. That ain't gonna hunt. Hold on. We're watching that again. Dude, stop what you're doing. Come on, man. Oh, that's a lady doing that. No, girl, stop. Man, they're not screwing around here, folks. I could hear President Emmanuel Macron just crying in the background, like, why? None of this would have happened if you weren't doing these neoliberal policies, Mr. President. What? It's the truth. Hey, this is it. So there you go. Recently, the bistro has become a frequent target of Macron's opponents, who accuse him of being the president of the rich. Again, folks, the fight is ongoing. The people of France are angry. And again, there's reasons why they're protesting. It isn't just because. It's because they're going to be, again, raising the retirement age, but also, again, there's so much more that's happening there. And when you have outlets like Blackrock and the Vanguard that have the potential, eventually, if things left unchecked, to owning everything on the planet, what kind of world are we leaving behind for the next generation? Is this what we truly want? We have to be better than this. And we have to be ready to step up and say, hey, this is not what we want. Now's the time to get angry, folks. You do deserve peace and security. Yes, you do deserve a chance to be left alone. But the thing is, if things remain as they are, you will not have that peace. You will not have that ability to be left alone, because everything's going to be owned by what? Two entities? We already saw in that earlier video, BlackRock has shareholders from the Vanguard. And Vanguard, we don't know who they are. Who are they? The same people control all the politicians. If you're not angry, I don't know what to tell you, folks.